Hi, Jemmy. Thank you for joining me for your February 2018 forecast for the month. I am reinventing myself during eclipse season. Why not? And I'm using the Thoth Tarot by Aleister Crowley. I was referred to this deck by a client who asked me why I hadn't used it before, and he inspired me. So I now own it, and I'm shuffling this beautifully illustrated work of art throughout the astrological forecast. And this is eclipse season, so it's time to reinvent yourself. I got gutsy, and I haven't talked about my haircut in any other video, but for some reason I feel comfortable with the Gemmies because I am a Gemmy, and I think you know. We'll just do anything we want to do. We'll cut our hair off if we want to. I wanted to keep it fresh, keep it new, and I feel like, you know what, who cares? It's eclipse season, it grows back. So it just feels healthy, and I got rid of all of my energy from the past, I want to say 2.5 years. So I cut it all off. Let's get into the forecast on the 31st of July, going into February. We have our full moon, blue moon, so it's the second moon that we received, full moon in January after the first of the month. We have the total lunar eclipse at 11 degrees of Leo. And this really brought an end to a form of communication, a style that you have been using, or who you're speaking to, who you're not. The closure in the third house could also be putting a relationship with your siblings to rest, burying the hatchet if there's been an issue. It could also be that you're returning from a short distance trip in the third house of short distance travel. And you could have also finished a smaller course in the third house of study. And whatever you're closing the door on here, it is poignant because this is a very powerful moon energy. And I feel like you're no longer in need of a certain type of a certain way you communicated. It's no longer serving your best interest, so you close the door on that. And that could be negative self-talk. It could be self-deprecating type stuff. This moon wants you walking away from negative speech, definitely. So be very aware, which is what eclipses make us aware. Be very aware of what you are saying and how you are saying it. And if it doesn't resonate with the core of who you are, rethink it. On the 10th of February, Venus enters the sign of Pisces. And this sector of the 10th house of career is influenced big time for Gemini and Gemini rising and Gemini moon, but especially Gemini rising. Please watch your ascendant forecast, your sun forecast, and your moon forecast for a very accurate dose of the cosmos. When Venus is in the 10th house, you are attracting job opportunity to you. You're also attracting the idea of wealth and promotion and a very high status of your being. The 10th house isn't the 6th house of the daily job. This is your essence. This is your pinnacle soul's purpose up there in the 10th house. How are you delivering yourself into the world? How are people seeing you at your highest sense of career accomplishment? And Venus is wealth, is money, just as much as she is love and attraction and beauty. So to see her in the 10th house, authority figures could be attracted to you and recognizing you for the hard work you've put in. Or if you work for yourself, you could be giving yourself that promotion and that raise, and some of you might even be retiring. Just after Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day if you celebrate that. On the 15th, we have a new moon partial eclipse at 27 degrees of Aquarius. This works for Gemini as this is an air sign, and this will trine your planets in Gemini. In the 9th house, though, this eclipse takes place. So it's best, on eclipses, I don't even like to drive, let alone travel. So if you can avoid traveling on that day, do so. But this eclipse affects you in a foreign travel sector. So you are ignited in your travel areas. And I feel like your planning stages of where you want to go for this year could take full effect around this eclipse, and you could be inspired to go to a foreign land you haven't gone before, to take on a course of metaphysical study that's new to you, to immerse yourself into tarot and astrology. And Gemini, you should get your readings this year because you have the new moon eclipse in the 9th house of tarot readings. So why not? Why not take a gamble on that? This influence is strong for students and people getting certified for training or courses or PhDs, degrees. You want to accomplish this year, and the new moon is the fresh start. So you could decide to register for these courses that have been at the back of your mind for a while and see some success with them, Gemini. On the 17th of February, Mercury also joins Venus and Neptune in the sign of Pisces in this career sector. So going over details, communicating with your authority figures, handling any reviews with bosses or any authority figures, boss heads, anyone who's in the position to see what you do and put you somewhere more powerful because of it, or to pay you more. Mercury is having you speak your best, to communicate your needs and to have them analyzed in the right frame of mind. Now, Neptune's influence is a little bit of rose-colored glasses. That planet wants you dreamy and not really seeing things too clearly, but you have the influence of Mercury and Venus here, and then on the 18th you have the influence of the Sun himself, who is the all-powerful energy, life force that we have in the sign of Pisces, 10th house of career. So regardless of Neptune, you're moving on up like the Jeffersons. You're moving on up in the career sector, Gemini, and the sun is shining on that for you. So it's time for your piece of the pie, is what I'm saying. And all of this water, all of this planetary placement in Pisces will trine Jupiter in Scorpio. So the 6th house of work, routine, health, status, how you apply your work, and then how it progresses you in career, this is getting magnified this year, threefold. So I think this is all about your work, how you are seen, you being your own driving force. Eclipsing in new experiences in travel could actually develop your career, and your career could send you to different locations this year. Let's see what the cards have to say for you. I'm excited to see what they are. And if you'd like to read with me, or have me read for you, you can select your desired reading length at audreyalison.com, and that would be via PayPal, and I will get back to you in an email in a day or two to set that up. I also am taking a moment just to read a quote from Aleister Crowley, who conceptualized this tarot deck in 1938, and it came to fruition in 1942 with the help of Lady Freda Harris, who painted the depictions on the cards. But every once in a blue moon, I like to pay homage to an artist or an intuitive or someone who has inspired me or whose story has inspired me. And right now, reading his quote, I found it very powerful, and it inspired me to get more books regarding the age of the Golden Dawn. But Aleister Crowley said this in his tarot deck: "The tarot is a pictorial representation of the forces of nature, as conceived by the ancients according to a conventional symbolism. At first sight, one would suppose this arrangement to be arbitrary, but it is not. It is necessitated by the structure of the universe, and in particular of the solar system, as symbolized by the Holy Kabbalah." And I just found that to be so brilliantly expressed and pinpointed as to the symbolism between the tarot and astrology that I wanted to read it aloud. Thank you for entertaining that quote. Here are your cards for February, Gemini. Well, it can't all be roses, and this card is the 3 of Swords. And it says sorrow at the bottom. And I know we can't all be, oh yeah, everything's great in work and I'm getting promoted. No, that's where these influences are. But people have heartache and relationship dramas and people who have passed in their life and illness and chemo treatments and all sorts of things going on in the world that aren't so bright. But how you hold your frame of mind is the most important gift that you can control. So having this swords come up for the air sign of Gemini, you rule this, the swords cards govern the air signs. Try the hardest you can in this eclipse season to release trauma and release holding on to the story about what has happened to you. You don't have to be a martyr, and you don't have to have the same story that you tell to everybody. Look what happened to me. Can you believe this happened to me? And I'm saying this in a negative way because I feel like there is a pattern that some Geminis have established. If you say anything 3 times, it becomes a pattern. If you do anything 3 times, it becomes a pattern. 3 of Swords is bringing to my attention that you could be creating your own sorrow just by reiterating what has been done to you over and over and over again. Hey, I have chills and I'm onto something because this is not coming from me and it's not something I think of when I think of the 3 of Swords until now. But this, you know, these decks keep me on my toes. They inspire me. Here's the next card. 9 of Cups. I could cry. This is a beautiful card. It says happiness. So you went from sorrow to happiness, Gemmy. And if you can learn to control what's going on in the very agile, brilliant mind that you hold, there's nothing saying you can't complete these goals, these attainments. They're available to you. These are all water. We have all this water here. You are intuitively connected to what you'd like to see manifest. Envision it. Here's your next card. Oh, it was upright. I couldn't tell. The Princess of Discs, which is the princess or page of coins. And discs are just like the pentacle. And the coin, circular, and they're governing money and property. And the page is the delivery of some news regarding your income or your land or your environment, something that is an asset to you. Even your health and wealth. The page is saying, listen to me. Protect your body, protect your property, and you might receive a message or a visitor to your home or to your environment. The next card, or also this could be a younger earth sign, female, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in your life. The next card, oh, the Fool. Number 0, the Fool. Talk about a reset button. Talk about setting that reset button at the eclipse period. It's fresh start. It's taking a risk and going off on your own, being your own individual and packing light, not taking everything with you. Not everyone makes it through eclipse season in the same position that they began, meaning some relationships become dismantled and some people lose jobs in order to gain the better job. So if things start out the month with, hey, I thought I was supposed to have all this career development and I just lost my job, it's not over. You know, it ain't over till you take your last breath. So, and then you go on to the next dimension. So it ain't over then either. It's endless energy. And you have the 9 of Cups, which is one of the highest, next to the Star card, it's the highest goal card, wish fulfillment card. So trust in your potential to earn, like the Princess of Pentacles, and take a little risk and believe in yourself and start something new, like the number 0 suggests. Nothingness. clear and empty, complete culmination and full circle energy. Your last card, Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is all intuitive, feminine energy, psychic energy, powerful intuition, a creative, fertile communicator and artist, a nurturer. You're all over the map with the tarot cards, okay? You got swords, you got cups, you got coins, you got major arcana, and you're ending on cups because of all the nebulous, watery energy. But Gemmy, oh, this is amazing. The Queen of Cups I just heard, and I just was reminded of this, actually symbolizes the time frame of the cusp of Gemini and Cancer in the Tarot. So she's very Cancerian, but she has that Gemini to her. The Queen of Cups is positioned around the 18th of June through the 23rd of June, 24th of June. So this is the Gemini for those of you who that applies, but use your strong, quiet, intuitive self to help you through the eclipse period. You know what's best for you. You already do. When you start talking yourself into things and you start explaining yourself to people, it's because you really don't believe it yourself. You know what you need to do inside. And I think that Gemini has a way to talk themselves out of things as the communicator, but stick to the instinctual, intuitive gut and you'll be okay. I hope this was helpful, Gemmy. I love you. I'm wishing you a beautiful, peaceful February. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.